gravitational wave. Well, thanks to the availability of many of the YouTubes, I'm sure you can just click your Google and try to see some of the YouTubes where this birth of this gravitational wave experiment can be seen. Okay, and I have seen that PRL paper which appeared this month in the second week of February, and those of you, especially the senior students here, you can just go and see that PRL paper where this gravitational wave has been reported. An absolutely exciting thing. So, thank you, Professor Sengupta, and documentary film on Darwin's. Now, it's there in the program. Let me ask the children in the audience that, are you very hungry? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Okay, let me ask the question. Are you not hungry? So tell me, this particular video film that we are going to show, would you like to see that video film, or we break for
Deep down along the East African coast, hidden in underwater caves, we find the coelacanths, fish from another time. These 400-million-year-old living fossils were once thought to have become extinct along with the dinosaurs. Possibly the sole remaining representative of a family of fleshy, finned fish. Perhaps the ancestors of amphibians that started to roam on land. When we look at the world around us, we can tell it has not always been the same. The top of a cliff was once the bottom of the sea. Fossilized shells of long-gone ocean creatures can be found right here. Since the Earth was formed, many exciting changes have occurred. The key is time. The long geological history of the Earth dwarfs our own human history. In the 19th century, in Victorian times, people had a different perception of the natural world around them. Most people stuck to the conventional belief that the Earth is only a few thousand years old and is populated by species that are the same today as they were when originally made, during the single week in which the Creator formed the entire universe. In 1842, Queen Victoria had seen the orangutan in London Zoo. She was less than amused.
The orangutan is too wonderful. He's frightfully and painfully, and disagreeably human.
Around the same time, fossils of large extinct dinosaurs were gradually being unearthed and described. Even then, scientists recognized that extinction had been a common occurrence in the history of life. But how could new species appear to replace those lost through extinction? It was time for someone to come forth with a naturalist explanation of this mystery of mysteries.
Good morning.
Welcome to Darwin House, the home of Charles Robert Darwin during the last 40 years of his life. It was here where Darwin wrote his famous book on the origin of species by means of natural selection. The book that challenged a worldview that had been taught for centuries.
I am delighted by your visit, and humbled that you're here to learn about the ideas I had during my blessed youth. I didn't enjoy or do well at school, but no pursuit gave me so much pleasure as collecting beetles. My father worried that I would end up being a disgrace to myself and the family. But when I was only 22 years old in 1831, I was invited to sail as a naturalist on board of the HMS Beagle, whose mission was to circumnavigate the world. At first, my father opposed it, but in the end he relented, and I accepted the post. The voyage of the Beagle has been by far the most important event in my life, and has determined my whole career.
mission of the Beagle was to chart poorly known stretches of the South American coastline. Darwin was not a hired biologist, but had to pay for his own trip as a gentleman companion to Captain Fitzroy. While the ship's crew surveyed the coast, Darwin spent most of his time on shore, observing and collecting thousands of specimens from a wide diversity of exotic plants and animals. Darwin's life now had purpose. He would follow his heart and become a scientist. He was filled with excitement, as from an early age he had a passion for nature.
I do not believe that anyone could have shown more zeal for the most holy cause than I did, for shooting birds.
Captain Fitzroy had given Darwin a new book called Principles of Geology by Lyell, a geologist. Lyell wrote that the Earth had been formed not in a few days, but over a long period of time by natural processes such as volcanoes and earthquakes. Darwin was fascinated. Then, on February the 20th, 1835, Charles Darwin experienced an earthquake himself in Valparaiso, Chile. The nearby town of Conception was ruined by the earthquake. It was one of the most interesting spectacles he had seen since leaving England. At the same time, Captain Fitzroy found beds of mussel shells still sticking to the rocks, way above high water mark as a result of the earthquake. Darwin found fossilized shells high on the tops of the Andes. Could mountains have been formed by many, many earthquakes over a long period of time? Darwin was sure Lyell was right. Natural forces like volcanoes and earthquakes had changed the Earth in the past, and the Earth is still changing today. In 1835, the Beagle set sail for the Galapagos archipelago. Islands of relatively recent volcanic origin that lie on the equator, quite a way west of the South American coast. Darwin wrote to his sister, "I'm very anxious to see the Galapagos Islands. I think both the geology and zoology cannot fail to be very interesting." This would turn out to be a huge understatement. Darwin found the strangest creatures that seemed highly adapted to their habitat and showed similarities with creatures of the South American mainland. Marine iguanas that feed on algae from rocks along the coastline. Darwin wrote, "The black lava rocks on the beach are frequented by large, most disgusting, clumsy lizards. They are as black as the porous rocks over which they crawl and seek their prey from the sea." He observed animal behaviors that he had never seen before. The blue-footed booby waves and shakes his blue webbed feet to give the females a thrill. These are his best foot-lifting efforts. Higher up, on the slopes of the volcanoes, giant tortoises graze. Darwin was told by the locals that one could tell which island a tortoise came from by looking at its shell. It took a while before he grasped the significance of this news. Most of the animal species on the Galapagos live nowhere else in the world. Like this flightless cormorant. Darwin asked himself, why did God create birds with non-functional wings? Darwin, who almost became a clergyman himself, never missed a single one of the Sunday services conducted on board the Beagle by Captain Fitzroy.